Welcome to another Microsoft Flight Simulator video. This is where we bring you all the news and updates on the development of this new flight sim. So if you're lazy like me and you don't want to troll the net to get all the latest updates, this video is for you. Microsoft Flight Simulator will be a multi-platform flight simulator. For the first time, flight simmers around the world don't have to build a NASA-type computer to run the next-gen flight sim. This sim will be available on Xbox. So in this video, we'll be discussing which Xbox will run a Microsoft Flight Simulator and which one will give you the best bang for buck. In recent times, the team at Microsoft Flight Simulator have released its PC specs for its new flight simulator. We now have a good idea of what PC hardware you will need to meet the minimum, the recommended, and ideal specifications to run this on your PC. And yes, to run Microsoft Flight Simulator up to its optimal level, you will need to hand over some serious cash to get the perfect sim experience, even with this next-gen beast. But what does this all mean if you are an Xbox simmer? You can't exactly install a new GPU into your current Xbox to increase your frame rates. So let's tackle the first myth out there. Do you need to buy the new up-and-coming Xbox Series X to run Microsoft Flight Simulator? Absolutely not. Microsoft have confirmed its new next-gen flight sim will be coming to Xbox One. And for the 47 plus million Xbox One users out there, you'll be able to fly from your local airport and check out what it's like to fly over your house. We've been saying all of that. Will the experience be worthwhile simming on the next gen flight sim with an old Xbox technology? Xbox One was released back in 2013. Just think about it. It was the same year that the Apple iPhone 5S was released. But what if you wanted to buy a new Xbox today instead of spending all your hard-earned cash on a new PC? The One S and the One X are the bigger cousins of the original Xbox One, both with some incremental updates from the Xbox One that was originally released 7 years ago. And of course, we have the 9th gen Xbox Series X to be released in late 2020. But let's compare these three consoles against the PC specifications that were released by Microsoft Flight Simulator just recently. So let's take a look at the Xbox One S that was originally released in August 2016. Its CPU has 8 times custom Jaguar cores at 1.7 GHz. Now if we're going to compare that roundabouts to an Intel chip, it would be roundabouts a i3 core 6100 in my opinion. If we looked at the GPU on the Xbox One S, it has a custom 1.4 teraflops at 914 MHz GPU. If we compare the NVIDIA GTX 770, which is in the minimum specs of Microsoft Flight Simulator, it has 3.2 teraflops at 1046 MHz. Although Microsoft Flight Simulator minimum RAM is 8 gigs and hard drive space is 150 gigs, the Xbox One S does cover that, but it falls way short in the CPU and GPU minimum standards. Microsoft have mentioned this new sim will be available on Xbox One, but in my opinion, if you're even running it on a One S, you'll have to have all the sliders turned down to the minimum, and this will be a short downgrade of your perfect flight sim experience. Moving on to the Xbox One X, which was released in November 2017. This Xbox was built with 4K native in mind, and it packs a punch when it compares to the One S. This console has enough hardware punch to beat most entry-level PC kits. Nevertheless, the Xbox One X CPU again is an 8-core custom Jaguar with 2.13 GHz. If we compare that to a reasonable PC experience, you could do the same with a Ryzen 3 2200G, which doesn't even make the recommended PC specs to run Microsoft Flight Simulator. What about a GPU? The One X has a 6 teraflop at 1.172 GHz, which is a much improved GPU over the One S, but a Radeon RX 580 has 6.2 teraflops, which should be able to do the same job as the One X GPU. The Microsoft recommended specifications require at least a Radeon RX 590, so again in the GPU standards we fall short again. The Xbox One X does have 12 gigabytes of GDDR5 memory, but the recommended specifications for Microsoft Flight Simulator is 16 for the PC. So we've been saying this, the Xbox X CPU comes close to the recommended settings, but its RAM and GPU fall well short of this, making the Xbox One X missing the recommended settings and disappointingly sitting in between a minimum and recommended specs for PC build for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Wow. Would you have ever guessed that? In the holiday period of 2020, the Xbox Series X will hit the market, bringing all its 9th gen technology and its muster to blow all the predecessors out of the water. But will it be enough? Again, let's talk CPUs. The Series X has 8 Zen cores at 2.8 GHz. The Ryzen 7 2700 would be a good comparison, which has 8 cores and a 16-thread chip running at 3.2. And it can be boosted to 4 GHz, which meets the CPU ideal specifications for Microsoft Flight Simulator PC build. The Xbox Series X GPU is a whopping 12 teraflops at 1.825 GHz. This would be a good comparison to an RTX 2080 Super that has 11.1 teraflops or an RTX 2080 Ti at 14.2 teraflops. On the AMD side of things, the Radeon 5 would be also a good comparison, again meeting the standards of the ideal specifications for Microsoft Flight Simulator. The RAM on the Series X is 16GB of GDDR6. Ideally, the PC specifications that we are requiring are 32, but it does have a 1TB of SSD and we only require 150. It does seem that this anticipated Xbox Series X has enough underneath the bonnet to run Microsoft Flight Simulator at the ideal level, but the Xbox One X and S will fall way short of this mark. All in all, I will say that Microsoft Flight Simulator will be optimized to run on all these Xbox consoles at a decent frame rate, but it will come at a cost of graphical detail. We've been saying that this is merely a comparison video with a bit of guesswork added. I would love to hear in your comments below what will you be running a Microsoft Flight Simulator on, PC, Xbox, and which one. We still have more questions than answers when it comes to any news about Microsoft Flight Simulator and Xbox, such as we don't know when it's going to be released on Xbox and will there be any type of joystick peripherals available. But we'll keep you here posted on any Microsoft Flight Simulator Xbox news and insights. If you like this video, please smash that blue thumbs up button as it really helps out the video, and if you're new to the channel and want to stay up to date with all the latest Microsoft Flight Simulator development news and insights, please click that subscribe button. Remember to let us know in the comments below what will you be running a Microsoft Flight Simulator on, PC or Xbox, and which one. I'm going to leave you one of my other favourite Microsoft Flight Simulator videos here. Why don't you check that one out, and I will see you over there.